If you want to see me create this look using the Blitz Astral Quad by Pat McGrath, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène again, and I am going to do my first look on camera with the Blitz Astral Quad from Pat McGrath. If you are not familiar with this particular quad, I will take it out of its packaging. It is a very colorful, I would argue the most colorful of all three. I think she's done 3 of these quads so far. And one of the things I don't like about Pat McGrath packaging is I opened it up, took this palette out, and the name card for all the shadows dropped out of the box. I will go pick it up. Okay, so here it is. Now, if you are curious about the card, on the one side you have the shade names, and then on the other side of the card, you have a little bit of information on Pat McGrath. Now, one thing I did notice, let me make sure it's this quad. It has, on the card itself, it has the names of the 2 bottom shadows mixed up. And that actually annoyed me because that is a kind of a packaging flaw that should not happen with a high-end brand. So I thought I would just mention that. I don't know if it's been fixed. I assume it has for later quads, but or later editions of this one, meaning production runs. But that my nose got out of joint. Now, I don't know if it means that these 2 were actually accidentally switched in the quad. That might be it. This might actually be correct. And these guys are in the wrong place. I don't know. Either way, it kind of left me with a, These are 88 Canadian. That's sloppy. It's just sloppy. That said, the rest of the packaging I really like, and I have done swatches of this quad, which I'll put right there for you if you're curious. But it is long awaited. I'm going to do a look with this quad, and I will admit I did a couple of looks yesterday off camera. I just wanted to play with it and get a feel for it because I do find these colors relatively limiting, and I don't normally feel limits with color. And what I tried yesterday was taking this green and this blue, and I think the green has a pinky purple shift to it. They end up looking pretty similar on the inner to 2/3 of the lid. I was really surprised by that. And I really didn't like what it looked like. And it's funny, I don't usually do stuff like that off camera, but this one I had a gut feel after the swatches, and I was right. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to use the gold and the purple and do a look. And I think I have to play around with the blue and the greenish pink a little bit longer to have a better idea of where I can successfully do color placement on the eye without it being just a wash of color. I'm not big on just a wash of color. So long intro, but at least you know where I'm at with this quad at this point. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this gold in the crease on the outer lid and not quite going up to the brow bone. Now on the brow bone, I do already have a highlighter on. It's the same highlighter I have on my cheek. And it is the Makeup Geek Moon Phase highlighter that I just got. I'll put the video for that particular unboxing if you want to see more and know more about what I got in my second and last order of OG Makeup Geek eyeshadows. And my base eye makeup is the same as usual. Anything you want to see on my face that I haven't talked about, it is in the description box. So I invite you to go and take a look there if you want to know more about what is on my face and peepers and anywhere else. From the neck up. Okay, so I'm going right into the gold, as I mentioned, and I'm going to use the mirror that's just in this quad. I think I may have mentioned that. And I'm just loading up the brush to go into the crease. Oh, and I do recommend for the greenish pink and the blue to use a glitter glue. They are very sparkly and they will end up falling onto your cheek. Okay, and it's not a gold that's really deep and punchy. It's quite light, and I think it looks pretty good in the crease. So that's why I'm playing it with it there. And I'm going to intensify it for the inner two-thirds of the lid when I get to it. But we'll take care of the gold and the purple first. Okay, I think I like how much there is here. Just evening it out one last time. Okay, now I want to switch brushes, so no longer a regular crease brush from Sephora. I'm going to go in with a packer brush. I find pretty much any packer brush will do as long as it has this kind of a shape. This one is specifically the Smashbox full coverage shadow brush. And I have this many Smashbox brushes simply because I managed to get them, I think 70% off for a whole whack of them. I think it was 15 of them total, including the brush case, tubular brush case. And I had waited and waited and waited for them to go on clearance right after Christmas. And I nabbed it. I think it was 450 bucks and I paid 170. It was wildly cheaper than original price. Because a lot of folks are kind of saying, I've had a number of comments saying, wow, you use expensive brushes. Not intentionally. I was just being opportunistic, and the opportunity, well, presented itself. So I pounced. Okay, so I'm just doing the purple on the outer lid and just going up a tiny bit more into the crease. And now what I want to do is I want to take some of that purple and go on the lower lash line. And for that, I'm going to use another Smashbox brush. And these tiny precision smudgers, I highly recommend. A ton of companies make them. This one is called the Precise Smudger, shocker. And I'm just going to go in on that purple again, just a little bit on the one side of the brush, and just angle my brush this way when I want it wider, and then go narrow by having it horizontal. So a little wider, and now going horizontal. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more on the brush to finish it up. Oops. Okay, I don't want to go all the way in, but I did want to have kind of a progression from a thick to a thinner purple line on the lower lid. I really, really am liking that. I'm going to go in with my angled brush and just put a tiny bit of gold under the purple. But I'm talking about tiny, where there's almost no gold on the brush, just to continue on that gold theme under the purple. And I'm only doing that because it quite matches my skin tone, and I think that that works quite nicely. Okay, we have a wash of gold on the top. Now I want to make it solid gold on the inner to 2/3 of the lid. So I'm going to go back into the gold and use the multitasker brush that I have and also my finger to make sure that it's really popping on the inner to 2/3 of the lid. How many times can I say inner to 2/3 of the lid? Okay, so I've got this multitasker brush and it's loaded with gold pigment, or shadow I should say. Just getting the corner, and then I will switch to my finger. And here's, see how it just turns into a foiled, gorgeous shadow with a finger. Okay, so that is my preferred look for now with the Blitz Astral Quad. And I'm sure that I will do more colorful looks. I just want to play with different scenarios first. And it's really unfortunate that a quad of this type is more demanding than other colorful shadow palettes. Like I said, I don't usually have to do this kind of extra work. But if you are going to use it, if you're not planning on using it just on its own, but you're planning on using it as a companion to Pat McGrath mattes, which I think are pretty good mattes, then it's not a big deal. You just go into this palette and you pick a color that you want to use it for a halo or inner to center lid or some sort of an accent, and away you go, or lower lash line, whatever. But as a standalone quad, for looks for a standalone quad, I definitely need to work on it more because, again, I don't want to do a wash of color. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Now, we are going to go into do the other eye. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did here, and we will talk when I'm done. Okay, that is it for those two shadows and the Moon Phase highlighter. I hope that you like where it's going. I am going to go off camera and do my liner and my mascara, and we can talk about the final look. And let's talk about what I did with my eyes to finish up the look. I did use a couple of Urban Decay liners. I have this tiny one, my little Zero liner that is about to be done, and also Empire. So Zero is a black liner that I used on my upper waterline, and then Empire is a matte / metallic liner from Urban Decay. And I put this one upper waterline, this one lower waterline, lash line, and I like the complement. A little bit of purple on the bottom to accentuate the purple that I have from the Blitz Astral Quad, and then the black just to accentuate my lash line without being too heavy. I did also apply the fly liner on my upper lash line. I did not do a wing, but what I did is I extended Empire up a little bit to lift up the eye as opposed to going straight across. And I think that that looks reasonably well. It's like a little stumpy wing of sorts on the edges. And I also used the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme, and I think that it did a decent job today. And I just sprayed the whole thing with my all-nighter setting spray by Urban Decay. Oh, I did do one more thing with my eyes, and that is I went back into the Makeup Geek Moon Phase, it's called, duochrome highlighter, and I did go in and put some in my inner corner. And I did that because I thought that the blue would play off the brow because I have it on my brow as well, but I thought it would play off the purple too. I thought it was going to be a good move, just a little interesting point of interest, but it looks more blue on this side than that side, so let me just add a little bit more. So I used this brush, which is a Morphe brush, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Morphe MB27. Just going to go in again to the Moon Phase, can you see? Duochrome highlighter, and I'm just going to go into the inner corner again. I don't know how it just disappeared. Maybe I rubbed my eye or something. Okay, there it is. I think they're even now. Anyway, everything is on my face, and the only other thing I did not talk about, I don't think, is my lip gloss, which is this guy, and it is the Becca Topaz and Gilt lip gloss topper, and I'll just reapply a little bit. And I picked it because it has purpley blue flecks in it, and it's kind of a nice brown color. And I didn't really want the lips to take away from the eye look as kind of the main feature of my overall look today. So there you have it, my first on-camera look using the Blitz Astral Quad. If you have specific requests for something different or more with the purple or the gold or the blue or pink shifting green color, please, or shadow, I should say, please let me know. I will be playing around with it a little bit more off camera because, again, as a standalone, it's a little bit of a challenging quad, but I do think it is a fantastic quad as far as the swatches and the playing around I've done. It would be a good companion quad, but as a standalone, I need a little bit more playtime to have some go-to looks. And to me, this one can definitely be a go-to look. It's not too crazy for daytime. It's definitely appropriate for nighttime. You could just change the way you do highlighter, inner corner, that kind of thing. I went a little bit wilder with the inner corner than I might if I were using this look for a dinner or a business meeting. But you can definitely do some more conservative looks based on the two shadows I used today. And you can expect to see more with this quad again in a future video. So with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Questions or comments are always welcome. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.